All right, so now that you know almost everything there is to know about explicit weights and implicit weights, I have an announcement to make that I've been trying to tell you, but I needed to teach you and show you everything first so that you can understand the impact of what has happened. I've actually written a blog post on this topic if you want to go to this URL and take a look in more detail. But basically, about less than 2 weeks ago, Selenium 3.11 was released. And in there, they've mentioned that two things are happening. One of them I'm not so much concerned about, but the other one I am very concerned about. One of the things that they're doing is they're removing the page factory from Selenium. Not a big deal because I don't teach you how to use it, and you shouldn't really need to use it because it's very flaky and hard to maintain. The other huge announcement that they've made is that they're saying goodbye to ExpectedConditions.cs. They're removing it from the WebDriver.net implementation. Yes, that's right. What I have just showed you with expected conditions will no longer be available in the Selenium WebDriver API whenever you download the NuGet package. Look, yes, it sucks and is very annoying. I talked to Jim Evans, and as you see, there's a link there. What he told me was that the reason that they're making these changes is because it's too hard to maintain the code in Selenium, and they want to reduce the complexity and maintenance of the code for Selenium. And even though expected conditions are extremely desired and highly used and very user-friendly for us, the developers of test automation, for whatever reason, they're removing it. I don't know if I agree with it. It doesn't make much sense to me to make something less user-friendly in order for code maintenance, but again, I don't maintain the Selenium code, so I can't speak to how much maintenance it is. Now, yes, it's very annoying. And what you're going to have to do is, if you don't use expected conditions, you're going to have to now start writing your own link queries like this. That's exactly why I showed you this. You're going to need to start writing your own these kinds of statements where you can find elements, where you can check elements for texts, where you can check to see if an element exists, whether it's visible, whether it's displayed, all that kind of stuff. But then another easier solution is that you can actually download a new special NuGet package. Selenium has been kind enough to extract the code into a different NuGet package, and we can actually use that one instead. So let me actually show you all of this. So let me pull up my Solution Explorer here, and I'm going to come here, right click, and go to Manage NuGet Packages for the solution. And as you can see, I've got some updates. I'm actually on, oh wow, I'm very outdated on my Selenium. As you can see, some places have 3.7, some have 3.4, others have 3.8. So what I'm going to do is actually update for you to version 3.11 on both of these. So I'm going to go ahead and click all of this. Oh, click all of that. C# doesn't need that. So I'm going to update all of these to 3.11, and I'm going to install it. Give that a second to update. I'm going to say okay, that yes, I want to update all of my NuGet packages to the latest version of Selenium. They're all being updated, and it's always a good idea to keep all your NuGet packages always on the latest software, and all of them to be the same across all projects. Just kind of a quick heads up while everything is downloading. Figured I'd give you as much tips as possible. So now that we've downloaded Selenium Webdriver NuGet package, let me go ahead and build and rebuild the code. And so now this is going to pull down all of the latest NuGet packages. And there's a problem here because you can see that I still have old NuGet package versions remaining here in my packages folder. So I'm going to go ahead and delete them. I figured that might happen, but I thought that NuGet package manager would have cleaned it up, but it didn't. So now let me go ahead and rebuild again. I was getting weird errors about mismatching namespaces in different versions. So now this is still complaining. So what I'm going to do here is right click here and go to manage NuGet packages. And then as you can see, I have some updates to install, and they are for Selenium support. So I'm going to go ahead and click this because these are currently version 3.7, but they can be upgraded to version 3.11, which is exactly the version that I just talked about. So I'm going to go ahead and click update so that it updates my NuGet packages in this project, WebDriver timeouts tutorial. So give that a second. It's added all the packages and successfully installed. Excellent. So now let's go back and look at our output. And if we look at the error list, what you now can see is this message that expected conditions is obsolete. The expected conditions implementations in the .NET bindings is deprecated and will be removed in a future release. This portion of the code has been migrated to .NET Selenium Extras repository on the GitHub. So they are super nice to point us to where it has been migrated, but as they now say, this is now obsolete. You can use it for now, but in a future version, it's going to be gone and it's going to break your code. So you can prepare for that now, and I'm going to show you exactly how. So we'll even be able to see that in our explicit weights that you can see there's a green underline here that says, expected conditions is obsolete. So let's go ahead and fix that. And by looking at the error list, we can see that it says .NET Selenium Extras. So if we go into the Solution Explorer, come here, right click, do manage NuGet packages, and browse. And we're going to search for .NET Selenium Extras. So there it is, .NET Selenium Extras. We don't need the page objects, but we do need the wait helpers. So we're actually going to install it. Currently, as I'm talking to you, it's the end of March 2018. There is still no maintainer of this repository, but it does work. So I don't think it needs much changes. And so this version that I'm about to install, 3.11, will be just fine. So I'm installing it and it's downloaded. So now I can go back and now, instead of using support.ui, which we can no longer use, and so now, of course, this will complain, we can using OpenQA, Selenium Extras .wait helpers. So that fixed that. And then, of course, this needs Selenium support UI. There you go. So now everything, expected conditions, of course, is going to complain because it's ambiguous. And so what we have to do is set using static Selenium Extras .wait helpers. dot expected conditions. And so now this is going to be great because the expected conditions, using expected conditions means that we're using these expected conditions, not the ones from here. So whenever the ones from support.ui disappear, our code is going to be great and ready, because if I hover over, you can see that we're using Selenium extras, wait helpers, expected conditions. So now we are all good. So as I said, although it's a problem for future code because you're going to need to do exactly what I did to fix it, and just make sure that you use this NuGet package to fix all of your future problems. Sadly, I have no control over this. That's what the Selenium developers decided to do. So I just wanted to make sure that you're aware, because no one that I know has shown this or shown how to fix these problems yet. So I wanted to make sure that you're one of the first to know how to fix these problems so that you don't encounter them in the future.